Hi everyone, it's Lauren. Welcome to my channel. So today is going to be another sit down and chat video. I'm going to be doing the VIP tag. I know it is so old. It was popular in like 2016, somewhere around there, several years ago. But I'm going to be doing it. I think it's a great icebreaker, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So also, one thing I'd like to note is that you might see some jump cuts, some really bad editing. I apologize, I'm new to this, and I also have my iPad with the questions on it, so you will be maybe hearing voiceover, I don't know. Depends on how good my editing skills are. So anyways, let's get started. What medical condition caused you to be blind or visually impaired? I have a condition called optic nerve hypoplasia, and if you'd like to learn more about that, you can check out my previous video that I did called What is Optic Nerve Hypoplasia? In 3 words, describe your vision. Unfocused, undetailed, if that's even a word, weird. Yeah, those are my 3 words. What is the hardest thing to do being blind or visually impaired? I really don't know. I mean, there's quite a few hard things. I wouldn't say there's like one hard thing about being blind or visually impaired. I would say like there's a hard thing in several different situations. Like, I don't know, most communication is nonverbal, so sometimes like talking to new people can be difficult sometimes. Painting my nails is difficult. Putting on makeup can be difficult, even though I love doing it. I don't know. I mean, navigating unfamiliar environments. I would have to say that's like the biggest thing is navigating unfamiliar environments. Other than that, I mean, you just kind of have to find ways to make life doable. So, there you have it. I love this question. What is the best part about being blind or visually impaired? I would have to say that being blind kind of gives me a unique perspective on things. Like, I don't know, I guess a lot of people take sight for granted, so being able to bring that perspective of like hearing things that other people can't hear, or like listening more. I definitely listen more. I guess in some ways I can kind of sympathize with other people, not really like sympathize, but I guess empathize. Like I can kind of bring myself and like put myself in other people's shoes, because I don't know, it's hard to describe. Because I have my own challenges, I can kind of put myself in other people's shoes and like see what challenges that they're facing and like understand what they're going through. So that, I think, just basically, I get a different angle than everyone else, and that's like one of the best things I love about being visually impaired. And there's also kind of a uniqueness to it. Like, not a lot of people know about visual impairment, so like I get to talk about this code that only I can read in my class, or like, you know, the fact that, yeah, I use a cane and I use my hearing kind of like echolocation and like stuff like that. It's just the uniqueness and the different angles, the different perspectives that I can give. What question do I get asked most about my vision? What can you see? I mean, I know that's like the most common question, and it's very kind of obvious that people would want to know about that, but that's like the most common. Are you really blind is another one, which I think is really funny. I'm like, no, I'm just faking it, you know, it's really fun to fake. Are you really blind? What can you see? I'm trying to think what else. I guess those are the most common. Do I have a cane? Yes, I do have a cane. I don't have a guide dog. Right now, I'm not really independent enough to need one. Like, I still rely on people to guide, like, to drive me, and you know, my boyfriend, he helps guide me a lot. My parents, they help guide me. So I don't really have a need for a guide dog. And when I'm on my own, I can use my cane pretty well. I actually have 2 canes that I mainly use. One of them being this folding cane. It's very decorative, very like purple, and purple's my favorite color, so I really like it. And then I have a straight one that I might show you in another video. But yeah, those, I do have a cane. I have 2. I actually have 6. And maybe I'll do another video on why I have 6 canes. But yes, I am a cane user. I'm going to paraphrase this one. What advice would you give to someone who is losing their sight or has lost their sight? You know, I have had several friends, several people that I know of who are losing or have lost their sight, and I see them go through almost the loss, the grief of it, and I think a lot of people tell them, like, it'll get easier, you know, you'll find, how do I word this? Like, people just tell them, like, it gets easier, you'll get through it. And yes, you will get through it. No, it does not get easier. But you find ways to adapt and make things work. For me, blindness never gets easier because there are always new challenges to face. But I guess you just kind of learn how to cope with those things. I think the biggest thing is once you cope with the fact that you don't have vision anymore, things become not easier, but in a sense they become more manageable. And I think that's, you know, once you start to cope with it, you can learn how to manage it, and you can learn how to live the life that you want to live. Like, it's not going to stay a dark place forever. You're going to find happiness, and in some cases you're going to find that blindness brings a whole new perspective to life, and it gives more than it takes away. And once you kind of learn that, I think you start to come to a point where you can find beauty in blindness and not grief. So I don't really know if that was coherent, but there's my advice. I'm also going to paraphrase this one. Some of these questions are worded very, very lengthy, so I'm going to paraphrase. But basically, what advice would you give to someone who is sighted that's interacting with a blind person? And I would just say, like, let them tell you what they need. Like, if you see someone struggling, it's okay to step in and help, but most of the time, just let someone else come to you and say, hey, I need this, because not only does it help the blind person practice their advocacy skills, but also, like, sometimes we don't need help. Sometimes we're struggling and we just need to work through it. Also, like, if you're going to touch a blind person, you have to let them know, like, okay, I'm going to touch you on the shoulder, or I'm going to help guide you, or here's what I'm doing. Really verbalize yourself. Really, like, explain what you're doing. Because at times, like, if you don't say something and then things start to change, maybe you feel something or maybe something gets moved, it can really mess with us more than it helps us. I'm trying to think. Also, even if I have known you for a long time, if I don't talk to you on a daily basis, I need you to tell me your name. And don't make it weird. Just be like, hey, it's Lauren. How are you doing? Like, just as simple as that. Hey, it's so-and-so. How are you? It's so easy to verbalize yourself, and I think people forget that. Voices, they tend to sound the same. And if, you know, there's not a lot to distinguish between voices sometimes. So just give us a little bit of a break and let us know who you are. That's, like, the biggest advice that I can give you. All right, I'm very long-winded. I apologize. Let's move on. Why did I join YouTube or blogging? I joined YouTube mostly to share my story, but I'm not really in it just for blind awareness. Like, I love hair and makeup. I'm not good at it, but I love hair and makeup. I love spreading blind awareness. I love music, so that was another way, is to share my music with people. And yeah, I just thought it'd be something fun. Like, I see Molly Burke, and I see Fashionista, and I see Lucy Edwards, and I just, those are the people that I admire, and I wanted to try my hand at that, so, alright.
I started this blog for the 10. Name 3 people to do this tag next.
Name 3 people to do this tag next. I know, Blind Canadian Girl, Your Blind Canadian Girl hasn't done it, but I don't know of any really others. Inside a Blind Teenager's Life hasn't done it. And, who's another person? Oh, Joy Ross. I don't know if she's done it, but maybe her. Jessica Kareem. That is her name, Jessica Kareem. I would like her to do that one because she's always doing videos about blindness and stuff. So if y'all already haven't done it, I think it'd be really cool if you did. Let's see what other questions. Okay, I think that was it. So anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in another video. Bye.